I'm going to call the Board and Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 2. Thank you for joining the Board and Budget and Finance Committee meeting today, Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. Before we begin with today's business, please ensure that you are in a quiet environment with no background noise. Everyone on the call knows the drill by now. Please mute your device unless you're called upon by either the chair or the clerk. Joan, will you please read the special notice?
On March 4, 2020, Governor Newsom proclaimed a state of emergency in California as a result of the threat of COVID-19. Public gatherings are to be limited. Further, on March 18, 2020, Governor Newsom temporarily suspended the Brown Act requirements pertaining to telephonic conferencing of local government meetings and the requirement to have at least one physical location available to the public for purposes of attending the meeting. As such, RTA has opted to conduct the April 7, 2021 Budget and Finance Committee meeting via teleconference.
Thank you so much. For today's meeting, we will take roll call. Will the clerk please take roll call now?
Jeremy Smith, City of Canyon Lake.
Here.
Ray Santos, City of Beaumont.
Here.
Linda Molina, City of Calamasa.
Here.
Art Welch, County of Riverside, District 5.
Here.
Linda Krupa, City of Hemet.
Here.
Timothy J. Sheridan, City of Lake Elsinore.
Hi, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with my computer for some reason. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, Director. Thank you. Yes.
I apologize.
Ted Hoffman, City of Norco.
Here.
Bridget Moore, City of Wildemar. Andrea Mars, County of Riverside, District 3.
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum. Members, please remember to remute your device.
Thank you so much. Would you please take attendance of RTA staff?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Larry Rubio.
Here.
Charlie Ramirez.
Here.
Tom Franklin.
Here.
Laura Camacho.
Here.
Natalie Zaragoza. Here. Rick Majors.
Here.
Kristen Warsinski.
Here.
Rick Kazarowski.
Here.
Jim Neepkins.
Here.
Yesenia Felix.
Here.
Thank you, Chair Smith.
All right, moving along from attendance. Next, we're on item number 3, which is our public comments portion on non-agenda items. Please read the directions for public comments. Do we have any?
We do, and members of the public may address the board regarding any item within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. However, no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Comments shall be limited to matters not listed on the agenda. Members of the public may comment on any matter listed on the agenda at the time that the board considers that matter. Each person's presentation is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. And Chair Smith, yes, I did receive a public comment from Keith White, who has asked his comment be read by staff.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Will the clerk please read this comment?
Yes. Dear committee members, I hope you all had a great Easter weekend. Just wanted to let you know I took Chair Krupa's comments to heart and will be going into the hospital for some preventive screening tests next month. I don't have a date, but ask you keep me in your prayers. Once I have finished that screening, I will be able to get my vaccination. I attended a virtual ADA meeting at the end of March, and it was great to see everybody there after almost a year. I've been back volunteering at my church, and I take the Route 29 to get there. The morning driver I have is wonderful, always says good morning, and always makes sure I can board the bus without having to cross a busy street. She got to see me all dressed up on Sunday. I felt so humbled helping first-time visitors. Please be safe out there and wear your mask. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Keith White.
Thank you. Love hearing that. In a world of today, it's nice to hear some good things. So always appreciate Keith White's comments. Is there anyone else on the line that would like to make comments on items not listed on the agenda? Hearing no more, the public comment portion for items not listed on the agenda is now closed. Moving right along, we're on item number 4, approval of the minutes for the March 3rd meeting, Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Does anyone have any comments? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
District
Norco moves to approve.
I think I got it from
Calabasa
Art.
seconds.
Wildemore, or sorry, was it Calamesa that seconded? I know there's like 3 or 4 people, but so I got the first, got the second. Thank you. Do I have? Are there any no's? Any abstention? Motion passes. All right. Next is item 5, cash flow projections. Charlie, this is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Smith and members of the committee. My name is Charlie Ramirez, and I am the agency's Chief Financial Officer. You have before you on page 8, the agency's actual cash performance through late March of 2021, followed by a projection of weekly cash activity through May of this year. This is a period that covers the first 11 months of fiscal year 21. I'm happy to report that there are no anticipated cash flow issues expected during this time period. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Charlie. Are there any questions from committee members on this? Any questions from the public? All right, this is receive and file. Thank you so much, Charlie. I really appreciate it. Moving along to item number 6, authorization to issue a purchase order to Cleaver Devices to implement a speed limit module on all fixed route revenue vehicles. Natalie, this is yours. She will be presenting.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Chair Smith. My name is Natalie Zaragoza, and I'm the agency's Chief Procurement and Logistics Officer. The item before you this afternoon is a request for authorization to issue a purchase order to Cleaver Devices to implement a speed limit module on all fixed route revenue vehicles. As we all know, speeding is one of the more dangerous driving habits both on city streets and highways. Towards the end of 2019, it was suggested by the chair of the board at that time, Bridget Moore, that staff look into available technologies that could spotlight speeding and use it as a tool to encourage good driving habits. Staff found several technologies out in the marketplace, one of which was chosen to be used during a demonstration over the summer months of 2020. This technology was a Verizon product and was easy to implement as a trial on 2 of the agency's support vehicles. It utilized GPS location data along with speed limit information to provide after-the-fact reports to management, to then review and determine the appropriate course of action for the specific incident. At the end of the trial period, staff chose to implement this service on all support vehicles and work trucks. The Verizon product works very well on these vehicles and provides management a tool with which to encourage better driving habits. As stated in the staff report, approximately 7 years ago, the agency purchased and equipped all fixed route revenue vehicles with a variety of hardware and software components, which collectively are known as Intelligent Transportation System, or ITS, equipment. Neither support vehicles nor work trucks were included in that project and outfitted with the ITS equipment, as the main objectives of that project were ridership related. Last summer, it was learned that the Cleaver from which the agency purchased its ITS system, Cleaver Devices, was in the final testing phase of a new software module that could be integrated into the current ITS system. Unlike the Verizon product, Cleaver's new software module has the ability to give real-time alerts to both the operator and to dispatch. Called Speed Limit, the module accesses the ITS system's main computer and uses the GPS location data generated on board to pinpoint the vehicle's exact location. It then utilizes a database of speed limit information to determine whether the vehicle is moving at the proper speed for that location. The point at which an alert is sent out is configurable by the agency. It can either be at 1 mile per hour or 5 miles per hour or anywhere in between. The real-time alerts are received on board the vehicle by its main computer and are displayed on the MDT screen to alert the operator. These alerts are also relayed to the agency's dispatch office. The objective with the addition of this software module is to effectively ensure operators are utilizing safe driving habits. Because the revenue vehicles already have equipment that facilitates the use of real-time alerts, the Cleaver Devices solution was viewed as the optimal approach for these vehicles to both alert the operator and to safeguard the agency's passengers. While the Cleaver Devices solution has an upfront cost of over $126,000, the Cleaver Devices ongoing support and maintenance costs were lower when compared with the ongoing Verizon subscription costs, if you hypothetically apply those costs to the fixed route revenue fleet. See page 11 in your agenda for those details that I worked out. As always, procurement staff did an analysis of the pricing offered by Cleaver Devices to ensure its compliance with FTA regulations. Through this analysis, it was determined that attempting to reprocure a Cleaver Devices type system to include a speed limit functionality along with all of the other ITS system functionalities would be infeasible, and the agency would also incur a substantial duplication of cost. Therefore, the action before you today is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Authorize staff to issue a purchase order to Cleaver Devices to implement a speed sensor module on all fixed route revenue vehicles in the amount of $116,629 with an additional 8.75% tax for a total amount of $126,834.04. Chair, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Are there any questions from committee members on this?
Not a question, Jeremy, but I do have a comment. This is Linda Cleaver.
Absolutely, Linda.
I thank Bridget for coming up with this idea. And it always amazes me when we're confronted with something like this, that I think our first thought is, well, why didn't somebody, invent this a long time ago, or why didn't we know about it? But thank goodness we know about it now. And I think it is going to be a great safeguard for RTA going into the future. So
Absolutely.
And thank you, RTA staff, for bringing this forward in such a fast manner. Thank you.
Absolutely. Are there any other committee members that would like to speak on this item?
Chairman Smith, this is Ted Hoffman from Norco.
Of course, Ted.
And I agree with Linda. This is probably long overdue and coming. And I appreciate what staff has done and put this together. My question is directed as the operators and our union drivers, are they buying into this? And do we have to establish a policy for drivers if they continually, I don't want to say discipline, but if they're continually speeding, or this type of a speed is recorded all the time? Are there policies set out by RTA and agreements with the union on this? I guess, Larry, you would probably have to answer that one.
Sure, Director Hoffman, I'm glad to. We have discussed this with the union, and it will follow the typical progressive discipline process we have. We hope to start with just training and coaching, and it's our desire to prevent accidents from occurring with this type of device. We hope it ends there, but of course, like all items, it could progress up. And we did discuss it with the labor union.
And I would take it there in concurrence that it's okay.
They've agreed that we're going to move forward with it. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
Good question. Any other committee members?
Jeremy.
Yes.
Bridget.
There we go, Bridget.
First of all, I apologize. I was late. I was on another meeting trying to get off to get on this one. So thank you, staff, for doing this. It was just an idea born out of a conversation I was having with Larry at the time. But I would think that the union should be okay with it. I mean, all our bus drivers should be driving the speed limit and should be driving safe.
Correct.
So I think that part of it we should have no problem. But thank you so much. So glad to see this, and actually, like Linda said, come so quick. So I'm glad to see it come back to us so fast.
Absolutely. Thank you, Linda, Ted, Bridget. Anyone else? Are there any questions from the public on this item? For those of you following around,
Yes,
we're on
Chair
item
Smith.
number 6. Yes.
Yes, Chair Smith. I received a request to speak from Keith White, who asked his comment be read by staff.
Awesome. Will you please read his comment?
Yes. Good afternoon, committee members. I agree with placing this system on the buses, as I have seen operators speeding, and this should help. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Keith White.
Perfect. Is there anyone else on the line that would like to make a comment? Again, we're on item number 6. Hearing no, do I have a motion to approve?
I would like to motion.
Absolutely. Accepted. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any no's? Any abstentions? Yay, the motion passes. Awesome work, everyone. I think this is a good one. All right, moving along, we're on number 7. This is the authorization to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with the city of Riverside for the purchase of property identified as assessor's parcel number 215-341-009 and grant of easement to city of Riverside for assessor's parcel number 215-341-011. Natalie, this one is yours.
Thank you, again, Chair Smith. The item before you this afternoon is twofold. First is a request for authorization to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with the city of Riverside for their parcel on Vine Street. And the second is to grant the city of Riverside an easement for the relocation of their water well. This purchase is a culmination of a vision for the relocation and construction of a new transit hub that has been under discussion for years and was included under a 2015 comprehensive operational analysis study. In 2016, RCTC conveyed 2 very small parcels to the agency on Vine Street. Then in 2017, the city transferred 2 larger Vine Street parcels to the agency while keeping for themselves the parcel that contained their well site. This property transfer from the city coincided with the agency discontinuing its use of the city's downtown terminal and transferring its routes to on-street stops and transfers. Concurrently, a temporary labor transfer stop was set up on one of the new Vine Street parcels for use while the new transit hub was designed and constructed. In 2019, conceptual plans were initiated for the final design and construction of a permanent transit hub on Vine Street across from the Metrolink station. Agency staff met with city and Riverside Public Utility staff on a number of occasions to discuss the city's remaining parcel of land on Vine Street with the water well. Because of the well's small footprint, the original idea had been to obtain an easement from the city and simply design a transit hub around that well. Discussions with city staff advised that periodically, every 2 to 3 years, RPU staff needed the ability to close off a small area around the well so that periodic maintenance could be performed. Because the city's parcel is right in the middle of the parcels owned by the agency, discussions then turned to the city and the agency to switch their respective ownership of the 2 parcels. Ultimately, it was determined that it would be most beneficial for the agency to purchase the city's well site and then grant the city an easement on the agency's parcel that currently serves as the temporary operations labor facility. This way, the city could simply relocate its well and be on the periphery of the design area of the transit hub. The easement would be for a small area to contain the well and also for a driveway to provide access to the property by RPU staff. The attachments following the staff report in your agenda today show how the new well location would then be at the far end of the transit hub, eliminating the need to design around it. And real quickly, if I could just go over attachment 1, just as shows a design of how the well is going to look on that parcel. And then attachments 2 or 3 are just perspectives of the new well, which again is located at the very end, corner side rather of the transit hub. Just give you kind of a perspective where it would end up in terms of the transit hub itself, a visual. In any event, as was discussed last month during the presentation for the Canyon Crest Bus Stop Improvement Project, the Vine Street Mobility Hub is a component of the city's TCC AHSC grant award. While the city receives $30 million for its downtown redevelopment under this grant award, the agency itself will receive $1.6 million for the construction cost of the Vine Street Mobility Hub and an additional $752,600 for transit passes. The Vine Street Mobility Hub will serve as the essential component for future multimodal transportation, addressing the mobility needs and quality of life needs of the region, not only through the provision of a centralized area offering bus and rail travel between multiple agencies, but with the aesthetic enhancements planned for the site, which include benches, shelters, drought-tolerant landscaping, and integration with city bike lanes. Therefore, the action before you today is to approve and recommend this item to the full board of directors for their consideration as follows. Authorize staff to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with the city of Riverside for the purchase of property identified as assessor's parcel number 215-341-009. Authorize the grant of an easement to the city of Riverside for assessor's parcel number 215-341-011. Authorize payment for the property, title, and escrow fees of $406,615. with an additional payment not to exceed $30,000 for well relocation costs. Authorize the use of contingency funds in an amount not to exceed $5,000 with any unanticipated costs that might arise. Chair, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Are there any questions from committee members?
Chairman, not a question, just a compliment to RTA staff. They may not know this, but in the 1970s, across the freeway, what is now the freeway there, that's where us guys were collected by the bus and taken up to Fort Ord as the AFE station for draftees. So just so you know, you come full circle on that one.
Were you one of them?
I was, Art. I was one of those guys that had to board that bus on up to LA to Fort Ord.
I love it. I love it. Any other questions from committee members? All right. Are there any questions from the public?
Chair Smith, I have not received any requests.
Perfect. All right. Is there any on the line that would like to make a comment on this item? All right. Hearing none. Do I have a motion to approve?
Norco approves.
Second.
Norco approved. I got Art on a second. Are there any no's? Any abstentions? Awesome. The motion has passed. Thank you, Natalie. I know there was a lot of information to get through. All right. Next is the fun part, folks. Item 8, which is board member comments. I'm just going to go through the list. Linda, would you like to take it off? Anything going on in HIMID or anything you'd like to report out?
No, I'm just looking forward to seeing everyone. Looks like we're all getting to that point. We've done a great job up to this point, and I commend staff on getting us through it. But believe it or not, I have no other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Linda Krupa and HIMID, got anything for us? Nope. What about Ray?
Not much, but I like to, thank you for all these reports, especially on the cash flow projection. That's very impressive. So I just like to compliment the staff on this. And other than that, Jeremy, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. RTA is just trying to keep up with the good work you're doing in Beaumont.
Thank you.
Timothy, we got anything in Lake Elsinore?
Just very quick, thank you to Jim Neepkins for his help. We're putting a pad at a bus stop on Canyon Hills Road and Railroad Canyon Road. So thank you to Jim for that. And I'll report more extensively at the full board meeting later this month. Thank you.
Perfect. Ted, how we doing? Anything
We're
to
good.
report?
Thank you. No, I have nothing to add. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I was just in your lovely city over the weekend, moving someone from Cyprus to your lovely city. So I spent some time there.
Good.
Yeah,
We
it was
always
good
like
stuff.
newcomers.
Oh, it's good. And don't worry, they're horse abiding people. So it was fun being able to.
That's
to
what we
do
look
that.
forward to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Horse and buggy.
it's
That's
good
what we
stuff. Bridget Wildemore, you got anything for us?
I do. I first want to say thanks to Ted for sharing, though. I love those little tidbits of history. But so yesterday we just actually had Inland Valley Medical Center did a big unveiling of their expansion plans, and this does tie into
That's right.
RTA. Yeah, because there is an RTA bus stop right outside. So this does tie into RTA. So it's a $450 million expansion of the hospital, which Inland Valley Medical Center is the only trauma center in our valley. So it is much needed. We're very excited for the city of Wildemar and for the region as a whole, as this is going to be a great addition.
Awesome. I saw that video you did of that grand opening. And for those of you that don't know, my city kind of borders up with Wildemar, so they're our sister city, and they're just crushing it. They're doing so many good things. So that was awesome to see that. Thanks for sharing with everyone on Facebook, Bridget. Michelle, you got anything for us, District 3?
This is Andrea filling in for Michelle.
I'm sorry, Andrea.
No problem. I have nothing to add, though. I completely agree with Mr. Santos's comments. So thank you, RTA.
Absolutely. Tell Michelle we say hi. Art, you got anything going on? District 5? I'm disappointed in your city for banning the drag races, but I know that's out of your jurisdiction. But you got anything for us?
Well, it's not over. We're still we're still dragging it along. But
Absolutely.
it may happen. I just want to thank the staff on the work that they do. This project in Riverside's been going on for a long, long time. And I really say thank you for bringing it to a final decision that's to the benefit of our passengers.
Absolutely. All right, moving along. Item 9, announcements. Larry, do you have any announcements?
Jeremy, could I interrupt just a second?
Of course.
I'm sorry, Larry.
There you are, Linda.
I'm sorry, I had to go outside because a guy came to give me a quote on cutting back 2 of my trees. So if I can, I would like to register a yes vote in favor of the last item on the property with the deal with Riverside.
Absolutely. That's item number 7, authorization for the purchase.
And other than that, you know, as usual, just kudos to staff for always doing such a great job. And I apologize for not being for the vote. And now I'm done. I will mute myself again.
Thank you, Linda. Back to you, Mr. Rubio. You got anything for us?
No announcements today, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Perfect. Next is item 10, which is our next board meeting. Budget and Finance is scheduled for Wednesday, May 5th. I can't believe I'm saying that we're coming up to May. And that'll be also at 2 o'clock. I'm going to adjourn the meeting. It is exactly 2:25. No, yeah, 2:25. So we are good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Thank you all.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jeremy.
you. Hey, Larry.